The Vision High School Sports Beat is brought to you by the 11 locally owned Vision Automotive Group dealerships, offering Buick GMC, Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Hyundai, Kia, and Nissan, and the resale division, with locations in Webster, Henrietta, Penfield, Fairport, Canandaigua, Ontario, and Palmyra, and online at visionauto.com. Hi everyone, and welcome in. This is the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. Every week at this time we take a comprehensive look at sports in Section 5 in Monroe County. We begin with our Honor Roll of High School Teams, brought to you by Cellino & Barnes. The Honor Roll of High School Teams is brought to you by Cellino & Barnes.
Cellino & Barnes, injury attorneys, call 888-8888.
Don't wait, call or text 8.
Here is our Honor Roll of High School Teams. At number 3, East High Baseball is 13-2, won 4 of its last 5 games last week. Xavier Cologne pitched a shutout over Edison. At number 2, is anyone paying attention to Spencerport Girls Lacrosse? The Rangers' West Side team won their first 7 games. Cameron Sack and Malaya Benedetto had 5 goals each in a win over Hilton. And at number 1, Victor Softball just keeps rolling. Sam Torlish batted for the Cycle at 5 hits and drove in 6 against Penfield. The Blue Devils are 9-1. Which brings us to our Coriglio's Pizza Team of the Week. The Coriglio's Pizza Team of the Week is brought to you by our friends at Coriglio's Pizza with 5 convenient locations throughout Rochester. Coriglio's Pizza is a proud supporter of high school athletics. These are the dog days of the high school baseball season. Like everyone else, Penfield has to deal with it.
And we're just going to go 15-minute segments, right? 3 15-minute segments. When you're over in the cage, it's going to be divided into 2 different halves.
Why is lacrosse so popular in these parts? Many reasons, really, but one certainly has to be the condensation of the high school baseball and softball seasons. This has been a relatively mild spring, but that hasn't helped the ball players that much. The warmth came early, too early, making everything difficult.
It is for all of us, with the weather, and we always face early season cancellations and postponements, and even today it's late April, and it doesn't feel like it feels more like late October, but it's not an advantage or a disadvantage for anybody because we're all in the same climate.
Penfield fared better than most. The sweep of games in Myrtle Beach got the season started on a high note, which continued once the Patriots returned home. They won their first 9 games overall. But wet weather and cold led to postponements. As a result, Penfield had 13 games scheduled over a mere 3-week span, including 5 last week.
The message to these guys this year has been to just focus on the task at hand, to not worry about anything beyond the day that's in front of us, whether that's weightlifting or practicing or playing. So we try not to get too high during the good times, and we try not to get too low during the bad times and not ride that roller coaster.
Practice time is at a real premium.
It can be tough to, work on stuff that you're messing up on in the games and, kind of correct some issues. It's tough when you only have 2 days to do it.
Yeah, and a lot of that early season time was spent indoors too, which is limited, right?
Yeah, especially for our outfielders, they don't get to see a fly ball until, the day of a game. Like when we got down to Myrtle, I remember the first game, the first thing we did, we got there a little early and we just hitting fly balls so everyone could see a fly ball. But it is tough, but it is what it is.
Do you really value the practice time you get during the year?
We do, especially with weeks like this where we get 1, maybe 2 practices a week. We got to go out there and focus for that hour and a half, 2 hours that we're out there.
What do you have to work at? When you've got a practice session, what do you try to accomplish with it?
Just everything. I try to pick one thing that I did the last game that I didn't do too well and maybe work on that in practice and try to perfect that as much as I can.
Condensing the year's shortest season into barely a month of games prior to playoffs makes it seem even shorter. You're already halfway through the regular season. Does it seem that way to you? It just kind of flies by?
It does. The first half just went by so fast, and it's coming to an end pretty quick.
Penfield got back on the winning track, snapping a 3-game losing streak. Jack Burke had 3 hits and a 4-3 win over Victor. When we return, the history of the his and hers. And Kim Burnson joins us with our Wegmans Making the Grade nominee when the Vision High School Sports Beat continues. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us for the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. It is time now for our Honor Roll of High School Athletes, brought to you by Injury-Free Coalition for Kids. Driving's a lot like the game of baseball. It's the one who gets home safely that counts. Please remember to always wear your seatbelt and to focus only on driving when behind the wheel of a car. This message courtesy of the Allstate Foundation and Injury-Free Coalition for Kids Smart Teen Driving Program. Here's our Honor Roll of High School Athletes at number 3. How about a no-hitter? Well, Greece Odyssey's Mike Ciccarone worked one against Eastridge. At number 2, Brockport's Mitch Henshaw had a walk-off 3-run home run against Churchville-Chili in a 7-5 win. Blue Devils a 9-3. And at number 1, Bree Walker of the 16-0 Gananda softball team. Bree had 3 hits and 14 strikeouts over the hosts in the title game of the Waterloo tournament after pitching a no-hitter against Lions. And now the Parisi Speed School presents our Athlete of the Week. Parisi Speed School wants you to be prepared for your next season. Visit ParisiRochester.com or call 585-381-3278 for a free evaluation. Parisi Rochester, train to win. The Hornell Invitational is the oldest ongoing track and field meet in Section 5. This one is second, the his and hers. 38 years and going strong, the his and hers track and field meet was born the Brockport Penfield Invitational and has been housed at SUNY Brockport, Canandaigua, Franklin, and Victor High Schools over the years. But it has found a home in Penfield at the Dave Hennessy Field.
It's nice. I mean, this is our 38th year, and for about 32, 33 of those years, we were drifting.
Hennessy co-founded the event and has been active in every one of the 38 early season showcase events for the outdoor track and field season. The his and hers distinguishes itself in that the scores of the boys and the girls teams are combined to produce a champion.
I think it brings a lot of the togetherness of the team. Sometimes track is very individualized and it kind of gives that team unity. But at the same time, we still kind of plan accordingly with girls team and boys team. So that's how it's scored for the rest of the year. So, you know, if you have a really deep team or a really good team, it's advantageous. If you don't have that on one side or the other, it doesn't really play into the overall score, but the concept is nice.
The his and hers pays homage to the patron saints of Section 5 track and field, running races to honor both Cedric Walker and Trent Jackson. The 100 is run in memory of the former Olympic sprint champion and longtime Franklin coach, and was won by Lene Tava-Thomas of Rush Henrietta and Kelly Brown of Wilson. What's it mean to you to take the Trent Jackson Trophy?
It's important because I know Trent Jackson is a big event, and last year I wasn't able to do it, so coming this year and be able to take first place is something. It's cool.
The meet brings together not only the top athletes from 34 teams this year, but the sport's biggest advocates, the officials. 16 of them at a meet this size.
I ran track and cross country in college and high school, and then I thought I'd enjoy doing it with the kids and officiating. So that's how I got back into officiating. I probably started about 27 years ago.
There are 95 certified high school track and field officials in the section. What's the most difficult or the trickiest part about, successfully pulling off a meet this size?
A meet like this size, you want to make sure you have officials that are experienced at the events that you're doing. Like, you don't want somebody that hasn't done the shot put before doing the shot put. So you want to make sure that the idea is just to keep the officials going well and basically standing in the background. A good official is an official that's not being noticed.
Rush Henrietta wound up with the best combined score for the meet, and Sammy Watson ran the fastest 800 meters of the year in the country. And the season just got started. Kim has our Wegmans Making the Grade nominee next. Later, it was the most extraordinary softball game I've ever seen. It's our Dunkin' Donuts All-Sport High School Game of the Week when the Vision High School Sports Beat continues.
Welcome back and thanks for watching the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Kim Burnson. It's time now for Making the Grade, brought to you by Wegmans. Wegmans is a proud supporter of Making the Grade, which highlights the accomplishments of Section 5 student athletes on and off the playing field.
This week, we honor Michaela McPherson, a senior at Rush Henrietta High School. At 5'9", Michaela helped lead the Royal Comets varsity basketball team at the forward position. Her toughness on the court also translates to the softball diamond, where she's in the midst of her senior season on the varsity softball team. Michaela is also a part of multiple school clubs and organizations. On top of that, carries an impressive 3.7 GPA with multiple AP classes in her schedule. There seems to be no time to spare because much of her free time she dedicates to volunteer work. Whether it's fundraisers or community projects, Michaela is always getting involved in helping those in need. She's one of 26 high school seniors that were recently inducted into the Henrietta Youth Hall of Fame for their hard work and ability to stand out among their peers. Since she was selected as one of the 30 direct admits into the nursing program, next fall she'll attend Binghamton University, where she plans to pursue a tough major, but one that will help many people. For that reason, this week, Michaela McPherson of Rush Henrietta is making the grade.
If you have a student in mind for our Making the Grade segment, we want your nominations. You can send them in to info@classywolf.com. Now here's Bill with the Sylvan Learning Section 5 calendar.
Our Section 5 calendar is brought to you by Sylvan Learning, delivering results in reading, math, writing, study skills, SAT and ACT prep, and more. 4 area locations. Call 385-9480. Here's what is happening this week on our Sylvan Learning Section 5 calendar. We've front-loaded this week, a busy Monday with high school softball, Greece Olympia, and pitching sensation Emily Phelan plays at Greece Arcadia. On Tuesday, boys lacrosse underrated Gates Chi-Li plays at undefeated Churchville Chi-Li on the west side at 6. Wednesday, baseball with Penfield and Webster Schrader. That gets underway at 4:30. And on Friday, it's the rematch of the great softball game you're about to see, with Irondequoit playing at Pittsburgh Sutherland at 4:30. On Saturday, Rush Henrietta hosts the 15th annual Royal Comet Track and Field Invitational with over 30 schools participating. That's our Sylvan Learning Section 5 calendar for the week ahead. The aforementioned softball game between Sutherland and Irondequoit is next. It is our Dunkin' Donuts All-Sport High School Game of the Week, when the Vision High School Sports Beat continues. Sign Impressions is more than just signs. It's a total graphics company. Embroidery, screen printing, team apparel, t-shirts, jackets, hats, and of course banners and signs. Visit signimpressions.com. Call us at 723-0420 to order your team or corporate apparel. Welcome back. This is the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. It is time now for our Dunkin' Donuts All-Sport High School Game of the Week. Make your day supreme with the new Bacon Supreme Omelet Breakfast Sandwich, loaded with peppers, onions, potatoes, and topped with 2 slices of cherrywood smoked bacon and cheese, all in a freshly baked croissant. America runs on Dunkin'. We were warned pregame that the softball contest between Irondequoit and Sutherland might not be the showdown we anticipated. Bad intel. Here's our Dunkin' Donuts All-Sport High School Game of the Week. Olivia Schraba is not Irondequoit's top pitcher. Olivia's just a 9th grader at Irondequoit and making just her 3rd varsity start. Expectations as the Eagles prepared to face once beaten Pittsford Sutherland were, shall we say, realistic. How tough was it going up against this team, being told this is you're going to pitch against, this team is one of the best in the county? Yeah. So what was that like?
It was pretty intimidating because everyone was on the team was kind of like getting down on themselves because they were like, this is Sutherland, it's a pretty big game, no one's won against them in years.
Schraba got right into trouble in the first inning, walking the first 2 batters she faced. But managed to escape major damage, allowing just 1 run on a Caitlin Fitzsimmons sac fly to the shortstop, Maria Marcera, who made a nice play but couldn't keep her feet. So it was 1-0 Sutherland. In the second, Schraba found her footing and struck out the side. The freshman was keeping the powerful Knights lineup off balance.
Timing is all about waiting for it and just doing your best, and all you have to do is just wait for it and then just go for it from there.
Did you feel at that point that you guys were kind of getting that down and you had some run scoring capability left in you?
Absolutely, 100%.
Sutherland started to find that timing in the third. A walk and a base hit preceded a Fitzsimmons double that brought both runs around and gave the Knights a 3-0 lead. But in the bottom half of the third, Irondequoit rallied. Marcera drove in a run with a liner down the left field line off Sutherland's starter Nicole Carty. It was 3-1. The next batter, Leah Fowler, hit one out. A 2-run home run that tied the game, and the 9th round tripper hit by the Eagles this year.
It was a crazy feeling. I mean, it's a lot of pressure, and it was the best feeling ever. I just caught that ball and it went out.
What is it with this team and hitting home runs?
I don't know. There's something about us. I mean, Coach Smith has really worked us up this year, and that's definitely helped the team a lot.
Straba pitched with the 4th inning unscathed, striking out the last batter she faced, exiting the game tied. What were you looking to get out of Olivia?
I was looking to get exactly what I did. Just get confidence built up in her. She's a 9th grader. She's a great kid. Just to try to throw strikes and get ahead in the count and let the girls behind her play the game.
Fowler took over on the mound for Irondequoit in the 5th and loaded the bases with 1 out. Carty hit into a fielder's choice with Marcera, the shortstop, coming home with the ball for the force out. Sutherland didn't score. The game remained tied. Irondequoit exploded in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Marcera was in the middle of things again with a leadoff hit over third base. Maria scored on a sacrifice fly. Michaela Ladugny drove home a run with a base hit to make it 5-3 Irondequoit, and came across when Alyssa Bolcato hit her first home run of the year, a 2-run shot that made it 7-3 for the Eagles, 3 outs away from victory. Those 3 outs were tough to come by. Down 4 runs, Sutherland brought the top of the order to the plate, and the first 6 batters reached. Hannah Catallo-Stukes drove in 2 runs with a double. It was 7-5. Carty drove in another to make it a 1-run game. After a walk, the next 2 batters struck out. So it was left to the number 9 batter in the order with the tying run on third and 2 outs, Leanna Brown, to do something.
I struck out 2 times, and then I didn't get a very good hit the third time, so I was kind of really nervous, and I didn't want to let the team down. So when the 2 strikes were on me, I was kind of get down and deep down in myself and you have to hit this ball, don't mess this up and stuff like that, and so I just swung.
Brown grounded the ball to short and beat the play at first base to tie the game. A wild pitch brought home another. Sutherland had answered Irondequoit's 4-run 6th with a 5-run 7th for an 8-7 lead. Down a run, the Eagles' number 9 hitter, Grace Lynn Kistler, led off with a hit. Bringing up Jen Tierlink at the top of the order. A 2-run walk-off game winner. So you hit the ball out. I mean, you've seen too many walk-off home runs in softball at the high school level. What was that trip around the bases like?
It was pretty exciting. I mean, it's probably my favorite position in softball to be in when you're down and stuff. You know you have to do something, and I don't know, it was fun.
(9-8) Irondequoit was the final. Both teams walk off with 9-2 records.
We're trying to develop unity and belief and trust, and we are. And it's the second time Jen's hit a walk-off homer. They didn't give up, and it would have been easy giving up 5 in the top of the 7th and falling behind a run against this team. But again, we had the 9th hitter, punching a single, and then Jen put it out. So I'm just so extremely proud of them, and we can improve. But I like the direction we're going in.
And as we noted on the Sylvan Learning Section 5 calendar, the rematch at Sutherland is this Friday. We'd like to thank our Sports Beat sponsors.
Especially the 11 dealerships in the Vision Automotive Group. They make the Sports Beat possible.
As do you. Thanks once again for watching. We'll see you next week with the Vision High School Sports Beat.